Hey folks, welcome back to another video. Back at you today with another Dragapult Dust Noir. And to be honest, there's not too much new here. We are taking a look at the second place Worlds list from Justin Newdorf. And it is only one card different from the 60 that I've been running. Instead of 2 Nest Balls, Justin has opted for 3 Dragapults. So, helps out with prizing, helps make sure that you're getting into your Dragapults a little bit easier. Overall, it's a pretty good change, and I like it. I might consider making that change myself as well when I play this list in person. But other than that, if you haven't seen the Dragapult Dust Noir list, if this is your first time peeping it, here's the dealio. You've got one of the strongest attackers in the game, Mr. Dragapult, paired with one of the strongest abilities in the game, Curse Blast, to take big knockouts by spreading damage around through the back half of Phantom Dive, using First Blast to go behind in prize cards to activate your counter catchers so that you can keep just gusting Pokemon around, setting up for big knockout, multi-prize knockout turns. For supporters, you've got 4 research to kind of help you in the early game, make sure that you don't get stuck. And then you've got 4 Iono for the late game to get your opponents down to a low hand size, because like I said, we are going to be manipulating our opponent's prizes with our Dust Noir line. So then we can Iona them to even lower numbers. And then we've got 2/2 Boss Hilda. Feels really good for some extra gust when you need it. And Hilda is great to find your Neo Upper or another energy alongside a Dracloak, Dragapult, Dusclops, Dust Noir, and get those boys rolling as well. And then we've got Pokemon. Ursaluna helps us close out games. Feels really good. Not much to say about that. You just bench him late, hit for 240, take a knockout on Lair Fez or whatever, and you're big chillin'. Fezzendipity's draw support. This is really beneficial for our deck early on because we are likely going to lose a few Badoos, a few Dreepies, a few Dracloaks, so it's really helpful to get Fez down early to see more cards and make sure that we are continuing to set up under pressure. Hawlucha is great for getting 70 HP stage 1 or basic Pokemon down to 60 HP basic Pokemon. Really helps to secure some knockouts that would be otherwise out of reach. Get a lot of questions about the Latias. Why is the Latias in the deck? Especially because most of our Pokemon are evolution Pokemon. Latias is there for the early game. It is there to help you get into a Badoo while preserving an energy. Latias is really important if your Neo Upper is prized, because that will help make sure that your Luminous or your basic energy is not being used to retreat into Badoo. Instead, you can keep it onto your Dreepy so that you can continue to build up energy kind of slowly so that you're not missing out on an earlier Phantom Dive than you might otherwise. Latias is also really good if your Blood Moon Ursaluna is the only basic that you have in your opening hand, which doesn't happen too often, but it does happen enough. And then you've got Monkey-Dory for Mirror Match or other spread decks so that you can Adrenabrain damage back over to the other side. Really powerful to help with just increasing your Phantom Dive annoyance. Feels great, man. 3 Counter Catcher, because like I said, we can go backwards in prizes, activate Counter Catcher. 2 Jamming Towers feels pretty good. It is great against Gholdengo right now. You can jam up their air balloons and try to get one of their Gholdengos with no energy stuck in the active, or their Genesect stuck in the active, that sort of thing. A lot of Guardy lists right now are cutting Bravery Charm, so it's not as good as it was in the past, but it really does help out your Gholdengo matchup, so it's still pretty important to keep around. Everything else is pretty much self-explanatory. I really like the 4 Night Stretcher. I would not go lower than 4. It feels really awesome to be able to throw Pokemon away early. Like with a Research or an Ultra Ball, just throw a Dragapult in the trash, throw a Dust Noir in the trash, Fez, Ursaluna, whatever, and then know that you have outs to it with Night Stretcher. It's really helpful, especially with these evolution, like Dragapult, I guess more Dragapult. Throw 1 in the trash. Now you've got 4 outs to a Dragapult through Night Stretcher. You've got 4 outs to the Dragapult that's still in your deck through Ultra Ball. +2 from Hilda. Like, it's kind of insane. The 4 Night Stretcher in this deck is broken. It's one of the reasons that it's really, really good. But yeah, that's about it. Y'all have seen enough Dragapult Dust Noir to know where this is going by now, so I'll stop yapping. My name's Jared. I'll be your gameplay nurse today. Okay, forgot to hit record. But here we are. We got Joldengo, Joltic Box, gholdengo mashup. The crossover that everyone didn't expect, but has been kind of loving since. And you know, it's a fun deck. I don't like it as much as straight gholdengo, but it is a fun way to play the game. It's cool to rip some games on ladder. But I think it is exploitable more so than regular gholdengo. So not the biggest fan of it personally. But we've just been doing Dragapult things. They've just been doing Joldengo things. They got their hands all nice and set up here. I think they took 2 prizes already. Yep, looks like it. We have not been doing them because why would we? And yeah, we'll just got our recon directive, reconning. See what we think. Hilder would not be too bad. And kind of pop off, go from here. Do a little thinning while we're at it. And why not? Don't need these Badoos, never will. Well, that's not true. I might need one of them in case we need to lock them out of items at the end of the game to prevent any kind of energy recovery. But they do run 2 Levincia, so that's not a perfect solution by any means against this deck. But better to kind of keep one in the deck, one in the discard. That way we just have a lot of outs to it in case we do need it. Won't need the monkey because they're never going to leave damage on our side of the board, so that's an easy throwaway. And then let's just rip it. Get rid of the Hilder. Ended up getting the energy anyways. That hand was kind of dead. This hand's a little better. Nothing too crazy. So yeah, not too bad. We still got the Neo in the deck, so I don't mind burning a Luminous there. And then let's just start spreading. This deck does run 1 Turo, so we do have to be aware of that. Typically, the Joldengo deck does run 1 Turo. But I found one of the better ways of dealing with it is just kind of not taking knockouts and just spreading damage around, forcing them to burn through their balloons, possibly burn through their Prime Catcher or their Turo to get things out of the active. Typically seems to be kind of the best way to deal with the situation, especially if you can create a board state where there's nothing for them to amp. Because then their Iron Hands just kind of becomes a little bit useless. They can try to 2-hit Dragapult with it, but that's not great. That's not a great option. And then if you don't knock out their Iron Hands, and this works a little better if they have Latios in play, then they don't have a way of getting their energy back into their hand or gholdengo to use. Now, if they do not have Latios, like in the case here, then they can hard retreat the Iron Hands and ditch all of their energy that way. So it's not as good, but it means that we can stick the Genesect, force them to burn through an air balloon, because they don't have that Latios benched. So yeah, it's not too bad. Air balloon and a Prime Catcher. Well, they needed to get... I'm surprised they didn't hold that air balloon then. That would have been... maybe they just don't want to get Iono'd. But I'm never pulling the Genesect back into the active. I mean, there's no point in me doing that because I'll just Phantom Dive to it when I want to later. But we go down to 2, lose another guy, not a big deal. So at this point, thinking I really need to Iono them. I'm glad that they got the Iron Hands back in the active. Saves me from using Gust. And just see what else we got here. We'll just Fez draw first. See a few more cards. Nice, got a Dragapult. So that means, like I said, we can take away... Everything's out of amp range, especially once I pop the Dust Noir. And just thin a little bit more before we Iona here. Not going to need these, probably. We do need the Lucha. We can always just, what do you call it? Night Stretcher for it later, so not a big deal. Could bench this Ursaluna. It's not too terrible because Fez is going to stay on the bench. We don't have a Turo, so Ursaluna is less of a liability than Fez, so kind of means I can bench it. But we're going to Curse Blast here, not to take a knockout, but to get them down to 1 prize so that this Iono is that much more effective. And then going to thin a little bit more. And we're just not going to need... We're not going to need much to close out this game, thankfully. Could have kept the boss in the deck, but I don't know. I'd rather just kind of toss it. Yeah, we're kind of sitting pretty here. So now we can take do another Phantom Dive here. They're down to 1. They have maybe just a couple cards they can draw, and now we've got 3 of their Pokemon that are in Phantom Dive range. So even if they hit a Turo here, we're kind of still chilling because we can gust up any of the other one. Like if they Turo up the Iron Hands, we could gust the Gholdengo and then close out the game by just Phantom Diving onto Miraidon and Genesect. And if they get the knockout here, then we just lose, obviously. But with them only seeing so many cards, that's kind of a tall order, thankfully. And I don't think they have enough in their discard at this point to, like, they can't double Superior for the amount of energy that they need. And with 30 cards still in the deck, like, we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. And the amount of time that they're spending thinking makes me feel like they ain't got it like that. So I think we're big chillin'. As yeah, even if every card in their hand was an energy, they're only hitting for 300. Okay. Bravery Charm on the Iron Hands is not going to fix anything. We can still just take out the Genesect and the Miraidon. And we're kind of happy with that. Joldengo does not run Monkey. Sometimes they run Picnic Basket, so that could have potentially taken away our play as well, but they did not see that card, or they might not run it. And then, yeah, we just Phantom Dive onto the Miraidon. Alright, so they just energy passed. Dark, so it could be Grimmsnarl, could be Gardevoir, could be Zoroark. Couple possibilities there. But anyway, we'll just hit him with the Budew, because that's always going to be a bad spot to be in when you got nothing benched and no items. So we're pretty happy about that. Able to get a Dreepy Duskull on the bench. Got an Iono. Got a Neo Upper. We are... Well, we're less happy about that. So it's got to be Gardevoir with the Psychic Attack. They're going to smack attack our Budew. That's unfortunate. So lose a prize card there. Now, is it worth it to Night Stretcher the Budew back into play, burn another energy in order to keep them item locked? I'm feeling like it is, because that's not really where you want to be. But we do have to Iono here because we have a dead hand for sure. And if we're going to be feeding them Budews, we're definitely going to want a Pheasantipity. But let's check this out first. Okay, that was definitely a misplay. Probably should have gotten Fez into play first. I get the idea. But I think I would have liked to see a Fez there instead, especially as we are feeding them Budews. Would be a lot better to have that extra draw support on board. And it looks like that, what do you call it? Iono did give them a couple Pokemon. And we'll just get another Budew 8 here. That's okay, I guess. But yeah, benching the Badoo's nice because then you can just push into it without having to burn an energy or bench a Latios or any nonsense like that. That kind of stinks that we did not get into a Dracloak at all. Maybe we'll be lucky off flip. Nope. That's a lot of gust. I don't really want to research this hand. I'm gonna keep them item locks like... No. Yeah, it's just 2 bosses. It's okay. There we go. Finally, the Dracloaks show up to work. Jeez Louise. Hit a couple recons, see what we get before deciding what to do with the Engergy. Very nice. Dusclops. Might help us take out this Ralts later on. Ooh, okay. Like that. Now, they're heading prizes. They're playing Gardevoir. I don't feel like they're going to have a boss ready to go. So we're probably pretty safe to attach the Neo this turn. And then I don't typically bench Monkey against Gardevoir, just because most players will never leave damage on your side of the board anyways. I know we have a couple 10s to play with here. So that might come in handy later. We can always Night Stretcher for the Monkey if needed. But yeah, like I was saying, this Neo is definitely safe to attach here. It would be pretty crazy for them to get everything they needed into play this turn. I mean, they can't get into Gardevoir anyways. They don't really have an attacker set up. So yeah, no, that Neo is totally safe. Not too mad about that Iono, actually. Would have been nice to keep the Dragapult, but we get what we get. We don't throw a fit. And they got, okay, they got the Jellicent, or at least the Frillish. I know some lists are running just the one Frillish for item lock, which is not a bad play. And we're losing a third Badoo has hit the discard. That's crazy. So we got a counter catcher, which is excellent. And an Ultra Ball, so we can get into a Dragapult, finally start attacking on our own here. Question is, do I want to take out the Clefairy? Or do I want to take out the Monkey? And I think this will be our second counter catcher. Let's see, is there one in the deck? There is not. Okay. So keeping the counter catcher alive is not super important. Yeah, I don't hate the Duskull bench. We could always get them down to 1 prize card, not a big deal. Hit a couple recons. Oh, very nice. Don't have to Ultra Ball for the Pult. Although maybe I should have taken the Luminous there. That might have been a little better. Probably should have taken the Luminous last turn so that we could take the boss this turn. But that's okay. One more recon to go. Yeah, Stretcher. Don't need a third Ultra Ball. Don't really need to play a supporter this turn, honestly. Not much point in Ionoing them from 3 to 3. You don't really need Hilda for anything. We get a... No, there's no Dusknoir in the deck. Dusknoir's in the prizes. I feel like I'd rather take out the Monkey here, because then they can't Mind Bend again. It's got to be correct, right? Because then they'll just push Frillish, and at the very least, they'll Ocean whatever us. And this way we save our counter catcher too, and the counter catcher will stay active. So yeah, I do like that play a lot more. And then, good Iono them to 2 now. From 4 to 2 is better than from 3 to 3. Very nice. Now we can knock the Curlia, get some damage on like the Frillish. Get that down to 60. Feels good, man. Not in a bad spot for the... I mean, we both had a rough start, let's be real. They had a little rougher start than we did, though. Doesn't seem like they're going to see a Gardevoir this game, which, pretty happy about. Oh, I could be wrong. Look at this, going for the old Razzmatazz Evo play here. But we can still... And, oh, they could bench 2. Very possible. Yep, there we go. 3 even. So that was a good professor's research. I take back what I said. They might be seeing a Gardevoir this game. But we're not too far off from just finishing... Oh no, we have 4 prizes left. I don't think we're taking 4 prizes this turn. Truth be told, we might not be taking any prizes this turn. I don't know. I think Noir is still prized, unfortunately. 2 Night Stretchers left, 1 Counter Catcher, 1 Boss. Pheasant Skibbity's here. Back up to 4. I could. Could just spread on... I could gust up the Pheasant Dippity. And then just Phantom Dive, not take a knockout. And just spread damage around in the back. Especially because they won't be able to set up any Monkey Dories. So none of it's going to come back my way. Feels pretty good about that. Oh, they decided not to Evo. They hit us. So no items. Okay. But we still got the boss. So we're chilling on the gust. I mean, no items, so those are kind of the same. Same amount of not helpful to us. Also not helpful. But that's okay. Yeah, I think I definitely like the boss up the Fez play here. Guardy don't be running Turo typically anymore. Like I said, they're bench locked out of monkeys. So yeah. I think it's a good play. So even if they attach, retreat the Fez, they could, if they do that, they could candy into Guardy and then just punch, and that wins them the game. So that's an unfortunate part. But they would have to have Candy Guardy and an energy in hand in order to get that with 5 cards. That's kind of asking a lot. Versus if I did take a knockout there, then they have 3 more cards to just see Candy Guardy, and then they'd win the game. So I'm asking for 1 more card for them to need, while also providing them with 3 less cards by doing it this way. So I think this is my best chance of winning the game at this point. And we'll just kind of see what they're able to cobble together. Hopefully nothing. Because then we could, if the jamming tower sticks and all of that, then we could just gust up the Lily's Clefairy and close out the game from here. They are able to get the energy. That's unfortunate. Only question is, are they going to be able to get the Guardy? But then the other problem... Oh, we got Dusclops. That other problem just solved itself. I was going to say we didn't have enough to take 2 knockouts on the back end, but we do now. So, yeah, we got game in hand. Okay, shoot. We just Curse Blast one of the Ralts. Sprinkle a little back end. Do I even need to Curse? Oh, it's 40. It's 40. I thought it was 60. Don't even need that guy. All I need to do is be able to do math. And there's a 4 prize knockout. Big chillin'. Big chillin'. Okay. That's already sorted. Thanks for being here this week, guys. Really appreciate it.